Police draw guns on a female stormtrooper who was cosplaying, and they tackled her to the ground. Has gun control hysteria gone too far? Are we witnessing a breakdown of cosplay? I think so. And why did people call the police on an innocent cosplayer? Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the Post-Millennial. Here we are. Headline: Watch. Police draw guns on Alberta woman in stormtrooper costume, tackle her to the ground. This is a disturbing story. See, there was a Star Wars themed restaurant called the Cocoa Vanilla Galactic Cantina, and it was based on Marvel and Star Wars and Disney, and as much as I might find that lame, I'm sure there's people who enjoy it, the kids, and I have nothing against them. They're a restaurant, and cosplay is cool. I do like cosplay, but the fact of the matter is, this woman dressed up in a stormtrooper outfit, and of course, part of the outfit is a blaster gun, a fictional laser gun from the Star Wars universe, and the people called the police on her because she had a fake science fiction weapon. Let's watch the footage, folks. So here you can see the footage. I might have to mute it because there is music from the cantina in the background. Here you can see the restaurant in the back. So she was here for the restaurant. She was here to cosplay for people. But here's the sad part. Here you see in her right hand, she has a blaster prop. It's not real. I have to inform the police officers that blasters are science fiction and the Star Wars universe takes place in a galaxy far, far away. We simply don't have their mailing address yet, so we cannot yet order our own blasters. So this is a replica blaster based on the real one, of course, and when you press the trigger, nothing actually comes out because it's not a real blaster. But apparently, people were terrified of this horrible, horrible person.
Stop being close.
So here you can see the police arrive, and they're pointing their weapons at this stormtrooper cosplayer, straight at her face. And as you can see, she holds her hands up. Now, what idiot in their right mind would think that a stormtrooper cosplayer poses a real threat? Aside from the obvious joke that no one had any reason to be afraid of a stormtrooper, even if they had a weapon, because stormtroopers always miss.
Stop.
So here you can see her. She's getting on her knees. The police are threatening her, waving around weapons. This really shows the incompetence of the police force and the incompetence of a lot of governments who are anti-gun. And here you can see she's been pushed to the ground, and they're arresting her. She committed no crime, by the way. Okay. So this is what tyranny looks like. This is what a violation of gun rights looks like. And this is what gun control looks like, folks. This is what happens when you let the government walk all over you. You end up licking boots.
Shit, that's a girl, man. Fuck. He's got the fucking shotguns. Why?
Stay back. Let's go. Seriously.
This is Canada. We don't have guns in Canada.
Go record us, but don't come approaching us. Stay back there like everybody else.
Okay, but this is Canada. That's not a gun. It's a plastic gun. I can buy that at the dollar store.
You're gonna get arrested if you interfere here. Stay back.
See, and there you have the wonderful police telling the cameraman to stay back because he'll get arrested too. And the man points out she has a plastic gun that you can get at the dollar store. Now these absolute morons, these jokes in uniforms, morons. Like, I mean, how stupid do you have to be to go and arrest a stormtrooper?
Oh my god, are you serious? A plastic gun? Oh, what a fucking dick.
And this is the best part. Here you can see that they move the police truck in front of the scene so that the cameraman can't actually see what's happening. So they're actively hiding this footage. Very interesting, isn't it? It just goes to show you the corruption of the police force and the sheer incompetence. So, here's some of the details, okay? Because we just saw the footage. I'm disturbed. I'm upset. I think it's ridiculous. The anti-gun hysteria has gone too far. Themed. Okay. So this happened on May 4th. And it was a waitress. She was serving food in a Stormtrooper costume. And guess what? Karen called the police and said, "Hello, officer. There's someone here with a fake plastic toy gun. Please, I don't feel safe. Please come arrest them." Ah, yes, Karen came and got this woman booked. So apparently a couple of people had called 911 and said that there was somebody with a gun on 13th Street North. No, I'm well aware that Canada has had its share of events where bad people have done bad things, but honestly, that's no excuse. If you call the police on a stormtrooper, you're an idiot. Okay, there's really nothing more to be said. You are an idiot, a moron, a pea-brain, a dum-dum, a booga-wooga head. It's a cosplayer. It's not real. And, you know, you can't even say, well, maybe they didn't know what Star Wars even was. Who the heck doesn't know what Star Wars was? Disney's been blasting its commercials. Oh my gosh. So thankfully, nobody was hurt in all of this. Oh, never mind. Yeah, so she was tackled. You can't actually see it in the footage. The employee, the cosplayer, whose name is Ashley, suffered a bloody nose. And as someone who has had to suffer with bloody noses in the past, I absolutely hate it. And the psychological damage of a nosebleed is worse than the physical damage. So she was tackled, she was handcuffed, and she was handled roughly for no reason. The police were wrong. The people who reported it were idiots. And if it was me, I would sue. I would sue the police department for excessive force and for being morons. Unfortunately, the courts are rigged. This is Canada. She's probably going to get a fine. And she didn't even do anything wrong. The officers approached the person and provided verbal directions to the person to drop the weapon. To put themselves onto the ground, the person did not comply with verbal directions. Eventually they did after multiple repeated orders given by the officers, said Jason Walper of Lithbridge Police Services. You know, I hope you're ashamed of your fellow men in uniform and women, because they're idiots. Whalen criticized the police officers for not using common sense. So, yeah. So this is going to look really bad for the police department, and I hope there's a lawsuit involved. I am aware that this is Canada, and the average Canadian doesn't really have, a lot of rights that Americans have that are guaranteed by the Constitution. For example, the right to bear arms, freedom of speech, etc., etc. Now, Canadians will tell you, oh, we're free. We're so free. We're so enlightened. We're enlightened liberals, unlike Americans. Okay, well, you know what? I could say a lot of things about America, but what I can't say is that someone was arrested for wearing a stormtrooper outfit. Okay. Red Battery says, yep, just looked it up. Star Wars Blaster was on Bill Blair's banned assault weapon list. Alberta is safe once again. One witness was overheard saying to the arresting cop, "Lap it up, fuzzball. May the police force be with you." That's a pretty good one. But yeah, this is kind of why I feel like if you're going to hold the position of power in society, you need to pass like a basic IQ test, I'm not even saying set the bar high. Like 100, average. You got to be at least average. I'm not sure that someone with a double-digit IQ should be a police officer. Now, I don't want to be insulting. There's a lot of people with lower IQs that are talented in other ways. But maybe you shouldn't be a person of the law with a gun. So May 4th is known as Star Wars Day. So a lot of these franchises are promoting Star Wars. Star Wars may be a dead franchise, but what's left of the fandom, is still out there doing their thing. And these police ruined it because some Karens called the police. So this is ultimately what happens when you ban guns. Tyranny. And this is the entire reason that the founders of America felt it was so important that people had the right to bear arms. So here we go. Canada has recently banned what they call assault-style weapons, and there's a lot of fear. People were so quick to give up their gun rights. And this is what I don't understand about people. Do you honestly think you're going to be safer if weapons are banned? When, in fact, criminals will ignore the law and still get weapons anyway, and then guess what? You'll be stuck there like an idiot without a gun. Who's unsafe? You! You are more unsafe when you ban guns than when you don't ban guns. And this is what people don't understand. They're weak. Weak in mind, weak in body, and weak in spirit. They're so weak, they don't understand the concept of protecting and defending oneself. And oh boy, when they get mugged, when someone points a gun at them, and they have nothing to defend themselves with, I wonder if they'll realize that they were wrong. So a lot of people are upset over this, and it's completely understandable. This was an abuse of power, this was foolish, and this was just downright idiotic. This should have never happened. But there you have it, folks. That's pretty much the story. I guess this is what we have to look forward to in a world where all guns get banned. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Were the police correct to tackle and give a nosebleed to an innocent cosplayer waitress just doing her job? For all we know, this person doesn't even like Star Wars. But let me know what you guys think. Now, if you want to support the content, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar. Joining will give you access to a private Discord server. If you want to donate, there's DonorBox, there's Bitcoin. All links are down below in the description. But most of all, the simplest thing you can do is simply to share the video. As always, thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time.